There was a little known planned Universal Studios theme park that was supposed to be a part of a grandiose idea called Dubailand. That Universal Studios theme park subsequently was never finished. It was officially declared canceled in 2016. The total attractions planned to be 12 with 4 different roller coasters and 2 different water rides. You can see some early construction photos, if you will, of what was supposed to be Universal Studios Dubailand. That was the official title given to it. The groundbreaking happening in 2008 with a total budget around $2.5 billion. It was expected to be a major theme park. However, shortly after groundbreaking in 2008, the project ran into several financial problems. Notice the timing, 2008. We all know what happened then, kind of like a red herring when it comes to building different mega projects. If they start in 2007 or 2008, looking back, they're probably going to be delayed due to the crazy recession. The park was originally scheduled to be completed and opened in the year 2010, but it was already announced in 2009 that the opening date was delayed until 2012. And this project in specific had a very weird construction situation. The only seemingly construction that was done on the project was the big, glaring, almost universal sign or gate, whatever you want to call it, surrounded by basically nothing. That was really the only evidence we had that there was potentially going to be a Universal Studios Dubailand. Now, there was some renewed interest in the project in late 2012 by investors, but 4 years later, in October of 2016, the theme park had officially been scrapped, and Universal Studios Dubailand is not unique in the idea of a theme park that was not complete. There are many different projects under the Dubailand title that have been scrapped or canceled completely. This was just the weirdest one based on its construction timeline, with really nothing happening in terms of any potential construction to the site. A lot of it has to do with the terrible timing with the construction starting when it did. I was able to also find this interesting update on the Universal Studios Dubailand from the Universal Studios Dubailand. This is a 2009 update that says, unfortunately, construction of the site is not currently progressing. It appears construction came to a stop shortly after a huge number of employees were made redundant. At the end of last year, a 15-minute walk through the desert starting from the Dubai Outlet City Mall reveals that there are no cranes, no workers, no activity. The site looks pretty much the same as it did from 2008. And there are several eerie photos of the just completely undeveloped site with only the sign and the big archway in the front of virtually nothing. There was no construction progress on what was supposed to be a massive multi-billion-dollar theme park, including 4 roller coasters and several different zoned areas that had different themes based on where you were at in the park. Also, judging by these early mini models, you can see it looks like some type of smaller lake was supposed to be located in the middle of the park, along with a roller coaster seemingly stretching across the lake with different various rides. It's interesting to think what could have been when it comes to Dubai possibly developing a lot of these different amusement/theme parks that just have not happened. This one, I think more than anything, it was horrible timing based on when they started construction. They planned to finish by 2010, and it got shut down shortly after. I mean, I'm not even sure they did any construction, honestly. I've seen a few photos where it looked like they had some concrete divots in the ground and maybe laying the foundation for a few roller coasters, but there is not much of anything outside of a few different signs that supposedly lead to their office sites. It looked like they were possibly developing some type of temporary offices where they would plan out how the potential theme park would be built with blueprints, and they'd meet with workers and things like that. But I couldn't find really much of anything when it comes to any type of construction or development within this site. A very strange situation where it gets approved and supposedly groundbreaking happens, but if you look at it, there's just nothing there outside of a big archway that has the Universal Studios full theme, like there's gonna be a theme park going here, But then for the next 8 years, nothing happens, and it's just empty desert. That's all it is, standing right next to a big archway. Now, there were some photographs that I was able to unearth from around 2015 to 2016, and from the looks of it, it looks like the archway and maybe also their offices are completely abandoned. It looks like they kind of tore the offices down in the archway. There was one photo that had it as advertising for like a SWAT team or something. Very strange turn of events for what previously was the construction site of a potential Universal Studios theme park left to decay in the middle of the desert. And like I was saying, Universal Studios Dubailand was just one piece of an overall crazy mega project idea that was originally pitched in 2003 that was going to cost around $64 billion, called Dubailand. Some of the projects, however, have been canceled, like the Universal Studios project. Some of them have gone through. Another canceled project was the F1X Dubai theme park, which was going to be a theme park built solely for Formula One, which was going to cost over $1.5 billion, which is pretty crazy when you think about how popular Formula One has gotten around the world and in the US. In March of 2019. In 2009, there was a thought that they could potentially open this park later that year, meaning third or fourth quarter of 2009, but in 2010, it was reported that the project was not happening and it was subsequently abandoned. However, the park, even though it was themed after Formula One, it did have several roller coasters involved, and there is some of the rusted track of several of the roller coasters that would have been involved in the F1 theme park that never came to be, along with various renderings of what could have been in the desert. And another park that was originally supposed to be part of the development of Dubailand, Six Flags Dubailand, the name, certainly a name brand, it was scrapped. Now, Six Flags Dubai was originally scheduled in 2008, but canceled just 2 years later in 2010. There was a twist, however, as in 2014, the project was revived after Six Flags found a partner to build the Dubai-branded resort. The initial opening was set for 2020, and it was rumored that the new Six Flags Dubai theme park would include the world's biggest roller coaster, but unfortunately in 2019, it was announced even after the initial construction had already begun that the project was not moving forward and was officially canceled. And that kind of brings us full circle, because we know that there is going to be a Six Flags in Saudi Arabia. It is Six Flags Qiddiya, with potentially the world's biggest, longest, fastest, and tallest roller coaster, Falcon's Flight, under construction as we speak. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.